Good morning, student. The last class completed in the lesson 1, the asexual and sexual reproduction plants. It's completed the structure of anther, androecium, gynoecium, anther, the structure of the pollen grains, gynoecium, the structure of ovule, stigma. This one part is completed. After that, androecium and gynoecium, the fission together is a reproduction, the process, pollination. Next title is pollination. The first one part is completed in the anther and ovule, ovary. The next anther and stigma is joint pollination, in the process pollination. What are the importance of pollination? Pollination, the wonderful mechanism. Wonderful mechanism means which provide the pollination to users to provide the food, shelter. It's a pollinating animals. The animal to use it in the pollination, to get the shelter and food. Next one important, the co-evolution plants between the animals. Co-evolution means the evolution very important for in the plant and animals. The plant and animal development, the co-evolution. Animal plant is a cooperate work in the pollination. Already plant, the development of flower, the after the development of fruits, seed to use it in the pollination. Next, the pollination to use it for the formation of seed, fruits and seed. It is a very important process, one of the pollination. Pollination, the process, the fruits formation and to get the seed. These are the importance of pollination. Next, pollination. What is pollination? Pollination, what is pollination? This process of transfer, the pollen grains from anther to stigma. The pollination very important for pollen grains. The anther, pollen grain means anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. The pollination are the two process, anther to stigma. Anther to release the stigma, to reach the stigma. This process called pollination is very important, the pollination. Again, this process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of a flower is called pollination. What is pollination? This answer. Next, another one, the classification of pollination. Pollination classification. The first, the classification of pollination, there are the two kinds. Two kinds means, the first one self-pollination and the cross-pollination. Self-pollination is another name, autogamy. Auto another is self, auto another self. Gamy means gamete. So both of them, male gamete and female gamete. Male gamete anther, female gamete means gynoecium, the ovary, ovule. It's a self-pollination means autogamy. Another one, cross-pollination. Cross-pollination means allogamy. There are two kinds of pollination. For the first one, self-pollination. Self-pollination is another name, autogamy. This is a self-pollination, autogamy, same meaning. This is self-pollination or autogamy. Auto self, gamy means gamete. Auto means self, gamous means it's a marriage. Gamous means marriage. Marriage means it's a transfer the pollen to stigma is the marriage. Marriage means it's a fission. Male gamete after female gametes. It's a auto self. Gamous means marriage to the Greek word. Greek word என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா auto self, gamous marriage. This self pollination. This name of the self pollination. Another definition, the transfer the pollen stigma they transfer the pollen and the stigma in the same flower. The cell pollination, the process is the transfer the pollen in the same flowers. What is pollination? The anther to stigma. The pollens and the anther to stigma in the same flower is called cell pollination. The same flower. Same flower means is a example hibiscus is one part is anther, another part is a ovule ovary stigma in the same flower is called cell pollination orthogamy. Next one, cell pollination is possible only in the plants for bisexual flowers. Cell pollination, the process for bisexual flower. Bisexual means is male